Oh, yeah, it's go time. Ladies and gents, it's high noon at the Staffing Saloon, and here we are, our final day of the ASA Women in Leadership Scholarship winners. I got Danielle Garcia in the house, but before we even start, I got to give a shout out to our proud sponsor. That's right, they're Power in the Spot podcast all week long. Give them a shout out right here. They are ASA. That's right, they are the employer of record, all in one platform, so you can grow your staffing firm quickly without worrying about the back office or paperwork. Reach out to my friends at ASA today. Danielle, what's going on?
Not much. Just happy to be here today. Thank you for having me.
Right. Well, hey, before we even start, I got a special guest who wants to meet you. You ready for this?
Oh, okay. Let's do it.
All right. Look who's here.
Hello.
Hi, Danielle.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am delightful. Staying busy.
I love to hear that.
Diana, what do you think so far of this whole week? These girls are rocking it out, aren't they?
Yeah, it's been fun. I've tried to tune into as many of them as I could. And I know all their stories from their scholarship application. So I just love being able to give them the stage for a bit and for you to highlight who they are as people and their stories that brought them to where they are today. So I love it. Thanks for doing your scholarship series.
Look at that. Here we go. Okay, so let's talk about Thrive before we deep dive into Danielle. So Thrive's coming up, what, in a week?
Yes, next Thursday, April 23rd. Yeah, it's coming up fast. So we're excited.
And give us some details about that. People can still sign up, girls, guys, everybody, right?
Yep. Open registration still if you have not signed up. We take registration really up to the start of the program, which kicks off at noon Eastern time next Thursday with our opening keynote. She used to work for Google. So lessons around courage and teamwork and unexpected lessons that she learned from her time there. And that's Jenny Wood. So she kicks us off. But then I'm really excited. We have 4 concurrent options for some speed sessions. We've got 3 speed talks and networking opportunities. We have a generational panel around tech and AI adoption. And we have an allies panel this year as well. So we have a lot of learning for about 5 hours. I promise you'll walk away with some great ideas. So people should join us if they haven't registered yet.
There it is. If you hear from Diana, it's the truth. You got to join.
It's worth your time. It's a lot of fun. It's a virtual event that will keep you engaged and plugged in. I promise you. I'll tell some bad jokes in between sessions. It'll be a great time. I promise.
I got to hear the bad jokes. I'll be flying back from Chicago, but I got to hear the bad jokes, Diana.
All right.
So, okay, before we let you go and jump into Danielle's story, tell everybody about the application process, because I think it's they can apply right now.
They can. Yes, our application is open now through May 31st. We're looking for the next stars to be our 2026 scholarship winners. And so we have a call coming up on April 30th. Danielle's going to be there too, so we'll get to hang out again in another few weeks, where you can hear tips and tricks for making your application stand out. We see people that either apply or their supervisors who are writing the letter of recommendation. They also come to that call just to hear tips and ideas for how to write the letter of recommendation. But so sign up for that if you're interested in learning more about applying, or reach out to any scholarship winner that you've had featured here. I'm sure they'd be happy to share their advice. But now is the time to apply. Deadline is May 31st. But don't snooze on your application. It does take some time to put together. You have to have a letter of recommendation, some nice thought process, and some strong answers to make your application stand out. So get started now. It's my advice.
Get started now. This weekend, guys, get started. Get it out there.
Don't do it last minute.
Is that what you did, Danielle?
100%.
It's so funny, too, when you ask the scholarship winners, and I'm sure it will come up on the call on April 30th, they have different approaches. And sometimes it's like, well, I worked on mine for months. And then the other one's like, I heard about it the week before. And I had to hustle really hard. And I had to put together my application. And I was up the night before. And we see a range of strategies.
Oh, yeah. I was at my nephew's graduation working on mine. Like 100%. Yeah.
And here she is.
Yeah.
Right there on top, like everybody else. Okay, Donna,
So
before we let you get out of here,
Yeah.
any shout outs for the girls this week or anything like that? Did you want to give them any words of wisdom like that? Because they're all listening to you. By the way, they all love you, Diana. They talk very highly of you, like 110%.
It's mutual.
So reach out to all of them because they're watching right now. So what do you want to tell them?
Hi, 2025 winners. Love seeing you on stage and really being a great representative of what the scholarship program is. So keep it going. I know you will be ushering in our new 2026 winners soon, and we'll provide the same welcome and support that you all have found within each other and our other scholarship winners. So I love having them be visible in our industry.
There it is. That's a wrap. Hey, Diana, thank you for your time. I know you're very busy. We'll see you next Thursday at Thrive. Make sure you guys
That's right.
join.
I'm back to Thrive
Virtual.
Prep. So see you all next week. Take care.
See ya. Danielle, you ready to rock and roll now? A little surprise there, wasn't it?
Yes, I love her. She's the best.
It is. Well, so your story is something that I hear. It's amazing. So we got to deep dive into it. So before you got into staffing, what did you actually do?
Oh my gosh, I did a little bit of everything and nothing. I worked in grocery stores and restaurants. I come from a very small town with not a lot of opportunities. And so you either went to the mines or you went to the casinos. And I wasn't made out for the mines, so I went to the casinos.
Wow. So, okay. So were you like a poker dealer or what?
No. I worked in the restaurants.
Okay.
I started as a waitress out of high school, and I've always just been. I had no choice but to hustle, so I worked my way up into management and restaurant management. And when COVID hit and restaurants kind of went away because of COVID, I went into grocery stores, and I went into management in grocery stores. And then I didn't know how to quit the grocery store, so I did both because I'm not good at saying no. So I worked grocery stores and casinos at the same time, and so that was fun. And I just did both. And my husband had the opportunity. He works in mining to move to Atlanta, and that's how I found Elwood.
ATL. Wow.
Yeah. So I went from my tiny little town with 5 stoplights where I'd never driven on a freeway.
What town, by the way? Can we mention it? Go for it.
Winnemucca. Yeah.
Okay, time out. Where in the heck's that at?
It's on I-80. If you sneeze, you'll miss it. So it's northern Nevada. Everyone here's Nevada, and they're like, "Yeah, I've been to Las Vegas." No. It's on the top half of the state, right above Reno, between Reno and Elko. And it's a small town. There's 5 stoplights and a Walmart. And there's actually an Elwood staffing in Winnemucca, and I never thought to go there because I just didn't think it was an opportunity for me. And because they only did mining, and I wasn't interested in mining. And so, we went to Atlanta, first time I ever drove on a freeway. And I had a job at a restaurant because that was what I did, was restaurants. And they told me I had to work at nighttime, and I quit because I didn't know how to drive on the freeway.
Okay, so never drove on a freeway. How old were you at the time?
I was 30.
30 years. Okay, so your first experience on a freeway, what was going through your mind?
It wasn't pretty.
You have cars blow the horn at you and give you some gestures?
Oh boy. And I didn't even have like a small car. I had a big giant Ford Explorer. Like,
oh, and probably, correct me not, were you going slow?
Yeah. So, and I was scared, and I'm driving like this, and I've got all my kids in the back seat. And, my poor husband, it was a 5-day drive. He drove the whole time. He drove the entire trip because I wasn't going to do that. And so we were there, and I ended up not accepting the job because they told me I had to drive at night. And I was okay with driving during the day, but not at night. And I walked into Elwood staffing because it looked familiar. I remembered it from Winnemucca. And I told them about myself, thinking that maybe they'd have a restaurant job, having no idea and just being naive. And they're like, nope, you're going to be our sales manager. And I was like, what's that? I've never sold anything a day in my life.
No, you didn't. Did you really say that to him?
Yeah, I had no
it.
idea. I was so naive. I came from this, you got to remember, I came from this small, small town where there's mining, there's casinos, and that's it.
Your graduating class, how many people graduated with you?
Maybe 120, maybe.
Ooh.
I mean, there's 3 elementary schools, 1 high school. It's a small town.
So everybody knows everybody's business and everything.
When I go home, like there's Snapchat, and people, literally just last week, somebody from my hometown was in Phoenix, and she sent me a screenshot because she saw me on Snapchat, and she's like, you're in Phoenix now. Like, that's how small of a town. Like, that's how small of a town that I'm in. When you pull into town, they see you on Snapchat and they know where you are before you're even in town. So yes, it's a very small.
And what did you think of the big city? Town. I mean, the big city life. How long did it take you to adapt to that kind of lifestyle?
It was a big adjustment. It was terrifying. I was very, very naive. I was naive to the world. I had no idea I was so naive. I had no idea how things worked. I'm so grateful for finding Elwood and being where I am. And I had no idea of the opportunities that were available to me, because I thought I was just a grocer or somebody who could work in casinos and restaurants. And most people from my town, they go straight there. And the people who do leave, they go to college and they go and do these things, and they never turn around and come back. And I never thought that we would leave. My husband, he's an electrical engineer, but he worked in mining, and we never thought he would leave mining. And he's still in mining, but he's not underground anymore. He works from home, usually. But now he's in the hierarchies of mining. And we took a chance and we left, and it was the best thing that could have ever happened for both of us. So
you go from the small town to this big town. Now, and I grew up in a small town too, so I know the ceiling level is just right here. It's like, this is all you expect. It's like, and then when you do get out, you're like, there's a real world. It's almost like you went to Disney World. You're like, wow,
oh my gosh.
There's actual other restaurants than the little diners, which I love diners, don't get me wrong, but it's like, wow, there's Thai food.
I miss it though. That is one thing I do miss, restaurants. And I miss restaurants, because in my small town, you had restaurants, and
homemade food, right?
Yeah, you don't find restaurants anymore. And it's so funny. We just had this conversation the other day, is you don't find restaurants, and everyone's like, what are you talking about? There's restaurants everywhere. I'm like, no, you don't get it. There's no restaurants. There's chains, but there's no restaurants. And so I do miss that. And, I have conversations with my parents all the time, because we went to Atlanta and then we went to Vegas. And now we're in Phoenix, and my parents, they're like, how could you do that? Why do you move around so much? And I'm like, it's the best thing we've ever done. My kids, they've got to experience things that I've never experienced.
Exactly right. And you know what? I got to tell you this, and I say this all the time. Our parents, my parents have been in the same place for 68 years. So they travel, God bless them, but they're probably just like your parents. They don't know what the outside world is like. But I tell everybody, when you're young or whatever, explore it. There's so many cool things. You can always come home.
Yeah.
I'll never go
back. I'll never go back.
Don't ever say never.
Oh no, I won't. Like, my kids, the opportunities that have opened up for them, my daughter, I have 3 girls, and we have a son, and the opportunities that have opened up for the kids, it's life-changing for them. I will never go back. And they just, that's great that my parents are happy there. My dad's been in mining for 50 years. I'm so happy for him, but I'll never go back.
And when you do go back, they all know your name. They know what you eat. It's like, you want the roast beef. Did you ever have that? Where they know your coffee. These waitresses and waiters know everything about you.
But and it's the truth. And to this day, I can tell you every menu item on every restaurant in that town because I was that waitress and I was that person. And there's nothing wrong with that. My best friend, she's still in that restaurant, and I was her manager for years. And I love that restaurant, and I stay in that casino every time I go back to town, and it's my home, but I'll never go back. And I'm so grateful for the opportunities that restaurant gave me because it opened the door for where I am now. But I never thought that I would be more than that. And coming into where I am now, it makes me sad because, and I was just talking about this the other day, the opportunities. When I came to Elwood, I was like, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah.
Because you come from such a small town that's so small-minded sometimes, you don't see what opportunities you truly have when you don't have the opportunities that somebody from Phoenix has or somebody from these bigger metro areas have because they weren't given to you because it is so small-minded sometimes. But it makes you work harder when you are given the opportunities. And that's what I've had the chance to do.
I love it. I'm just gonna wrap it up like this. I really think that, going back to your hometown, you'd be a great speaker to speak to like the high school kids and people like that there's another opportunity out there. We love our hometown, but just don't box yourself in with one little town. You know what I mean? You can always go back home, like I always say, but there's so much out there. And now you're getting explored. I could tell just in your voice, you're like, wow, this is like a new world, a new beginning, which is great. So you landed in Elwood. What did you start out at Elwood? What did he hire you for, and how you progressed all the way up to where you're at now?
So I started as a BDM, and I'd never sold a thing in my life. And they're like, yes, you have. You've been a waitress. You worked in grocery stores. You had to work with vendors. And so I had great mentors on the East Coast, and they taught me how to sell and all of those things. And I was pretty successful pretty quick. Nice. And I think I like talking to people. I'm a talker. I'll talk your ear off. And, I'm just honest with conversations. And we'll just, close deals. I'm a real person, and I'm a little quirky and weird, Well,
that's good. We all have to have our own uniqueness, right? If you're bland, and you're bland, that just goes by. I love it.
Yeah, no. So I'm just a weirdo, and I'm quirky, and I am. And so I was just successful because of that. And so when I had the opportunity to come back to the West Coast, we jumped on it because I really missed my family. It was Las Vegas, 8 hours away from my home, but I was like, yes, absolutely. Let's go. And I called my leadership and I said, hey, my husband got this opportunity. We're transferring back to Las Vegas. I'm so sorry. And Elwood was like, no, let's do it. Good luck. There's no office there, but good luck. Here's 6 months and a budget. Let's see if you can do it. And
nice. They believed in you.
They did. And I failed. And but that wasn't the end of the story. It ended up coming back to fruition a couple months later, and they gave me a second chance, and it thrived. And I opened the office from my car, and it was crazy, and it happened so fast, and we just blossomed it into this amazing branch that it is now. And the office is fantastic and amazing and just doing all the great things. And we just boom, 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 and got the people in. We worked and we hustled, and we didn't take no when there was a blockade. We figured it out. When I didn't speak Spanish, I asked my husband to teach me sentences. I can't speak Spanish, but I can talk to you in Spanish, anything to do with staffing. I got you.
Love
And,
it.
and so we just figured it out, and we didn't take the obstacles as an obstacle. We just made it work. And then when my husband had to come to Phoenix for work, I said, hey, Elwood, I'm so sorry. I have to go to Phoenix. And they're like, all right, let's do it. So now I'm in Phoenix. And I'm rebuilding a branch here in Phoenix and having a blast doing that, because apparently that's what I like to do. And we're just having fun doing it. And it's so much fun, and I love it. And same thing, just don't take no for an answer, and figuring out the blockades and making it happen.
I love what you said there. And I can even shout out to Elwood for giving you a second chance, third chance, and all that stuff, because they believed in you. You know what I mean? If so, you didn't really fail, you know what? I always say you were redirected a different way. We never fell. It's just like maybe the tools weren't set up, the location wasn't, but look where you're at now. You're like building these branches up, which is amazing.
Elwood's, I have to take my hats off to Elwood. They're amazing. They believe in you, and what you put into your work puts right back into you. And people don't understand that. You put the hard work in. Your hard work will always pay off as long as you choose to put the hard work in. And I love Elwood for that, because they invest in you just as much as you choose to invest in them. And people don't understand that. And I'm so internally grateful for that. I love my job, and I love what I'm able to do when I'm able to help people and remove these barriers and figure out these obstacles and just get it done, and come in and see an issue and figure it out. And like, we've got, okay, this account is failing. Why is it failing? What can we do to fix it? These barriers are silly. What do we have to do to dissect it and fix it and make it better? And that's my favorite thing about it. So
I love what you said there too, because it comes down to all strategy too. So you don't panic when something goes wrong. You're like, okay, there's a way.
No, there's panic, but we figure out the panic.
You know what? Your office, I got to tell you, if I'm in the area, I'm definitely going to stop by and see you guys, because I think it would be a lot of fun, energetic, and I'd love to see behind the scenes what you guys are doing. That'd be exciting.
Yeah, no, there's you won't see the panic, but there's panic behind the scenes. We just don't let it come out. So
that's good for your heart. The little pound of the heart, cardio. It's like, okay, let's get this done.
Yeah.
No, as long as it's not a Friday night, Friday afternoon, everything goes to hell like always on Friday afternoon. You know that, right?
Amen. Friday, Thursday. But like, my favorite thing is that rush when it's like, all right, it's Friday morning. You want these at 1:00? Yeah, let's do it. Let's make it happen. And we make it happen every time. We just don't take the excuses. You just get it done.
And that's why companies will stay with you long than your competitors. I don't even want to say competitors, other staffing firms, because you're getting it done, But the rush is great. I got to tell you, don't you love that rush? It's like jumping like a firefighter, or you're an ambulance EMT. It's like, we got this to do. Let's go. Let's
go. Yeah, absolutely. And I love it. Like, I'm just grateful for the opportunities that were given to me, and the belief and the tools that were given to me to make me successful. Because when I didn't believe in myself, Elwood did. And I've said it 100 times, and I'll say it again, that's too often people are overlooked. And I always tell my recruiters this: when a resume comes in, don't overlook the resume. When somebody calls in, oh, I've called 100 places, nobody has a job. Slow it down. They have recruiter burnout. Just talk to them, have a conversation. 9 times out of 10, they're a great applicant. You just need to slow it down. Because when I look at my resume from 5 years ago and I walked into Elwood Staffing, I wouldn't have hired me. Just have a conversation. Sometimes somebody just needs help because they don't know what they're doing. So
I love that. Yeah, guidance all the way. Everybody has a skill. We just have to bring it out in them. Everybody has creativity. Everybody can be great at something, but we have to find that. And sometimes they can't find it themselves. So that's where we come in, Danielle. And like you bring out the best in everybody, which I love. So I got to tell you, the passion you have right now with the voice, hell yeah, you're rocking it out. I love it.
Thank you. I try.
Okay, so now you're at Elwood. You're rocking out there. What made you fill out this application for the scholarship?
I was at one of my clients, and Kim Telto, she reached out to me. She's our HR, vice president of HR, and she, told me that the leadership team and everybody had nominated me to fill it out. And I was like, what? Me? Why? You know? And so I kind of got all whatever feelings about it, and talked to my sister, talked to my dad, and all of the things, and talked to my leadership. And took me, like I said, waited till the last minute to do all the things. And because that's what I do. I'm busy. I've got my office. I've got too many kids, too many dogs. And so I'm going through all the questions, and I'm filling them out, and I'm erasing them, and I'm doing all this stuff. And finally, the week before it's due, I'm at my nephew's graduation, 8:00 at night, and I'm filling them out, doing it, not paying it, because who pays attention to graduation? Because,
You're right.
Those things are so long. I know, I'm the worst. And so I'm filling it out, and I'm sending it to my boss, and she's sending it back to me, and I'm sending it to her, and we're going back and forth, and I'm happy with it, and I'm writing my stuff, and I submit it the day before, because that's what I do.
Last minute thing's always the best, isn't it? Like cramming for tests.
Thank you.
It's the
Thank
best.
you. It is. It's the best. And so and I told my sister, and I was like, there's no chance I'm going to win. There's like over 100 applications. They only choose 8. And she's like, you're stupid. You're going to win. She's like, look at you. You left Winnemucca and you did this. And then you went to Vegas, and you're amazing. And you did this, and you closed this account, and nobody could close it. She's like, you're going to do it. You're the best. Like, look at where you were. Look at what you are. Nobody's better than you. You're going to win. And I was like, you have to say that. You're my sister. And she was like, I don't even like you.
I love that.
Yeah, my sister.
Sisters are real and raw, aren't they? Raw and real all the time.
Yeah. And she's like, no, I don't even like you. So no, I don't have to say it. And then when I won, my daughter, who's like the meanest person in the world, she's like, of course you won. It's because you're you, Mom. You win at everything. And that was probably the nicest thing she's ever said to me, because she's a bully.
Ooh.
And my sister said the same thing. She's like, I knew you were going to win. And so I geeked out and I cried. And then I went shopping.
When you got that email, what was, you said you geeked out, but what else was going through your mind? Because, at the time you just get this email, and it says, hey, you're the Elite 8. What were you thinking?
Yeah. It was surreal. I forwarded it to our executive team immediately, and it was West Coast time, like 6:00. So East Coast, it was pretty late, like 9:00 or so. And I remember Diane, I forwarded it to Diane and John, and they forwarded it to leadership, to the executive team. And I remember laying in bed that night, and it was like 11:00 West Coast. So it was 1, 2:00 in the morning East Coast, and they're all responding, saying like, congratulations. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And so I was just like really humbled, and, all of the feelings. And the next day I remember calling my parents and just being emotional. And my mom, I called her, and I don't tell her a lot of stuff. She's ill. She has dementia, and she doesn't remember things. And it's 1.5 years later, and she still remembers it. And so
kudos to that.
Yeah. She tells me all the time, she's like, you've won that award. And I'm like, I did, Mom. And so like, that gives me feelings still to this day, And so it's really important to me. I have it sitting on my desk with some of my other, it's really cool. And it's a great feeling. We have a bond with all the girls, and it's been fantastic. Like, from the first time that I had my first interaction with Diana to today, my leadership skills, my talking skills have changed. my leadership skills from when I first went to ASA versus now have completely changed on how I want to be a leader and how I handle things. It's been truly life-changing for my career, how I choose to handle myself and hold myself for my office and everything. So it's been fantastic.
Amen to that. Okay, so you meet these girls at Staffing World, of course, which you probably did shopping, right? Everybody I've talked to here does 3 months of shopping for this. So, you have the emails, you're going back and forth, you're building a bond with, all 8 of them. And then you go to Staffing World. What is your feeling when you get to meet them in person?
Oh, I don't even remember. Like, it was so surreal and so exciting. I just remember, like I said, I'm the weirdo of the group. So I'm just like, oh my God, and I'm the weirdo of the group. And by the
way, Danielle, weirdos are cool. You know that.
I know. That's why I'm the cool weirdo. So, and it was just great. And I loved them all. And they're amazing. Every single one of them. They all have their uniqueness to them, and they're all loving women. And that we have our group chats, and I'm always apologizing because I have like 100 notifications, and I'm like, sorry, I'm late to the show. What's going on? And I'll call someone. I'll be like, hey, there's 100 notifications. What did I miss? And because I'm busy, and so, but I do always show up just late to the show, and they're fantastic and amazing. And they're so supportive with everything. And I appreciate every single one of them. So.
And okay, so before we can finalize everything here, I want to talk about the stage. I mean, when you got on the stage, okay, so what were you doing? Were you thinking in your head you're going to dance, jump around? I mean, were you frightened of being up on a stage in front of everybody else?
No, I was honestly thinking we need to get off when they tell us to get off and not stand up there too long. Because I overthink the little details. And that's all I was worried about was don't stand up there too long. So, and we were back there, and I'm like, are we supposed to go up there yet? Did we miss our shot? That's what I was worried about, was overthinking the little details. Wow. And we went up there and we smiled, and I'm like, am I smiling in the right spot? Hopefully I didn't smile sideways. And that was my biggest concern, because overthinking the little stuff.
Well, you guys all rocked it, because I was there in the audience and I'd seen it all. So you guys were perfect on the stage there. And then actually after the stage, the whole time in Staffing World, people come up giving you hugs. What are you feeling now? Because you're in the spotlight, Danielle, for the next 3 days.
Yeah. I mean, it was all like just a blend of emotions and surreal. It was a lot. I tend to like block that stuff when it's just all surreal and boom, 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 boom. Everyone comes up to you and congratulates you, and you're like, oh, whoa, hello, hi, and you're just flooded with everything. And the girls are amazing because they're like, oh, she's overwhelmed. Hi, hello. So that was fantastic at them. But it is, everybody wants to be right there and say hello and congratulate you, which is fantastic and amazing. And like I said, back in September, I was terrified of everything. And now I could probably do much better with having those conversations. And if you were to go watch my first video, you would hear my shakiness and my, and now I can actually have a conversation and do those things because the exposure and the growth and development and all of those things. So it's just been fantastic. So
true. So true. And then, okay, so now almost a year, 8 months later,
yeah.
What is the impact now? Because, you get this award, but you don't realize that this is a career-changing award. You know what I mean? Your career is going to go in different levels now. I mean, you're rocking it out now, but now you're one of the elite 8 every year. Only 8 women every year. So yeah. What are you thinking now? Because, I mean, you're getting feedback, 6, 7 months later. Look at that. We're on a podcast now. You're crushing it, no nerves at all, just rocking it out. So did you realize this was going to change your staffing career?
I had no idea. I mean, everybody said it would, and I was like, nah, there's no way. And I still to this day, every single day, I'm getting messages, and I'm like, okay,
How'd you do that?
I'm reading them, and I'm like, do I respond to this? No, this is spam,
Mhm.
And it's great, and it's fantastic, and I love it. But like I said, I'm eternally grateful for Elwood, and I'll stay with Elwood as long as Elwood will have me. The way they've treated me and the things and growth and development that they've given me, it's something that I'm eternally grateful. And just the opportunities and all of the things, I'm just forever grateful for them.
There it is. Hell yeah. Let's give a shout out to Elwood. You know what? I love that. When there's people like you, it says, you know what? I want to wrap up my career at Elwood. Elwood, you got a winner right here. Danielle, you're rocking it out. I love it. Seriously. Before we get out of here, I want to, if there is any ladies out there that's thinking, maybe should I apply for this? Should I not? Can you give them any words of wisdom? Maybe I just do it the last minute. No, I'm just joking, but
No, absolutely. I mean, it doesn't matter how little your education is, how small of a town you come from, and how much you doubt yourself. I didn't know how to talk to people. I thought I was just going to be a grocery clerk in restaurants the rest of my life. And, I had no education, and look where I am. And I didn't even believe in myself. Elwood believed in me more than I believed in myself. And sometimes you just need someone to believe in you more than you believe in yourself to have that opportunity and push yourself. So absolutely do it. And if somebody believes in you, take that trust. And if somebody wants to develop you, take that mentor and let them mentor you, because they believe in you for a reason.
you said that right.
So.
Little shout out here. Look at this. Such an amazing story. It is, Danielle. Seriously, your story. Haley's coming up next to wrap it up. They love you. You know that, Danielle.
They're the best.
And I got to ask you on a personal note.
Yeah.
What do you think now of yourself now, your self-worth after all this? Do you believe in yourself?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm grateful for everything that I've been able to accomplish and where I am. And I know it's because of how much work I've chosen to put into myself and all the things that I've done for myself. I'm here because of how hard I've worked. And I had no choice but to bust my butt and get here and invest in myself and do all of the things. So anybody can do anything as long as they put their head first and choose to do it for themselves.
You got it. Okay, so we got to do our famous on three. You ready to do the woo on three? Come on now. All right, you going to do it?
You betcha.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Give it to me.
Woo!
It's Danielle Garcia. Hey, Danielle, thank you for coming on. That was great, by the way. We'll practice on that for next time. But no, I'm just joking. But hey, thank you for coming on and telling your story. It's so inspiring, motivational, definitely for myself there. I had a couple tears almost drop in there. But you know what? You're a rock star. A lot of people need to look up to you now, and especially in your hometown. I think you can go back and make an impact because you could do anything you want if you put your mind to it, Danielle. And that's what I summed it up with.
I appreciate that. Thank you so
much. All
much.
right, guys, that's a wrap. We'll see you at 2:00 with the final show with Haley. Take care, guys.